True. Um, you may note there's a stitch here missing that was here last time. I... Oh, I'm kind of quiet. I can fix that. Test, test, test. That looks better on the level end of it. That's because I'm not speaking directly into the mic because I'm at an angle. Is that better? That looks like it should be better. But yeah, so there's a stitch that isn't here now that was here at the end of last time. As usual, I missed something on the pattern and had to fix it before today's stream. So, just normal things. So I just had to pull down to here and restitch it, but it's all fixed now. That'll just continue as we go through this thing. It's fine. But yeah, that's all I've done. Is I just fixed that little bit there. Hello, good morning. Hope all's going well for you today. All right, let's figure out what we want to start with here. Get my pattern on my monitor here. Uh, we have a little bit up here. Let's take care of that. Get my key so I can see what color I'm looking for. 3827. Box of floss. And it's handy because it's one we used recently. So it's this color. And for anyone interested, we're starting off the music this morning with Sketches of Brunswick East by King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard featuring Mild High Club. And then I don't remember what else I have queued up after that. I think it's Darkside or Darkest the Hillside Thickets and Stonefield and Ghost. But I got almost 3 hours worth queued up, so good morning! Hope all's going well. Welcome on in. I'm just getting going here for the morning. So feel free to hang out and listen to some tunes and watch incremental progress happen. This is how far we are. The usual Monday morning scooch everything around until I figure out what's most comfortable. Not fancy enough to have a separate stitching setup that isn't just my normal desk that I stream from normally and just tear everything apart once a week and put it back. Just finished a humongous block of blue. You don't have the blue corner, do you? No, autofocus is not doing it here. As well be it's part of the Argentina flag. Oh, fun. Yeah, there were a lot of flags on place this time. Alright, I'm gonna try to keep an eye on the focus, because it won't autofocus well. And when I pick it up and put it back down, I don't always grab it back to the same spot, so. And as usual, we'll go through, we'll fix any mistakes we find, we'll think that we've done it all properly, and then between the end of this stream and the beginning of the next one, I'll find whatever mistake I've made and fix it. And like I keep saying, in case there's anyone that wants to just casually stitch, if this was not an archival project, mistakes, as long as it wasn't really noticeable or bad, I'd just compensate and roll along. But since it's an archival project, I kind of have to make sure it's accurate as possible. And as usual, any questions about the stitching, the project, the music, my stream, my cats, whatever. Hang out and chill, sorta stream. Just with stitching instead of video gaming, which is what I normally do. I also like my cats. Which is good, because that means I put up with them when they're being fuzzy jerk butts. I think they're both asleep in different parts of the office right now. I can see one of them. Oh, yeah, they're both asleep in different parts of the office. One of them's in the doorway, where it's the most inconvenient if someone were to walk through. The other one's on the bottom shelf of a shelving unit, because basically every storage solution and shelving unit I have has one shelf that I can't put anything on because one of the cats likes to sleep on it. One of those things that isn't talked about as often, that when you have cats, you lose a lot of storage space for that reason. Alright, I've got more of this color not too far down where I could probably hop it, but I know I won't have enough thread to do the whole section, so I may as well just anchor it and grab a new piece. So, give me one sec here. The doorway, the perfect I want to be inside and also outside spot. Yes. His butt's resting against the door. There we go. Alright, where's gonna be the best place to start this? Right, so there's a spot right here. That'll be that there. Okay. The obligatory do a quick count. Try to minimize errors. That's 2 up and 4 over. Sorry, 2 up and 2 over. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, perfect. Good, good, good. Man, we've nearly finished half a page? We're getting close to the half a page mark, which is pretty cool. Okay, not quite. I lied, maybe about a third. I had to scroll further. Let's do it this way so we don't stab directly through another stitch when possible. I do enjoy trying to make my piece tidy. This is, as usual, I'll try to, just because it's fun, point out my favorite track on an album. It's this one. It's weird. I enjoy it. Although Tezuka's definitely up there too. I mean, weird, unique music? No. Never ever. Come on. Here we go. Oh no, I live by the book. These my fables between pages. My book's ageless and it's pageless. The book, the book, the book. Also, I haven't gotten around to it yet, but I should probably start putting, like, pictures and VOD links to the communities of the sections that I'm getting stitched here, because they'd probably like to see it. Just time and effort I haven't gotten to yet. Hang on, did I mess up a thing already? 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, I just didn't go far enough over. Okay. That's an easy fix. Hang on. Counting. The book. Hydrate. I think I was looking up the wrong line here. Alright, 1 sec. Yeah, stop and count. Big part of cross stitching. This is why I usually do sprites that are like 4 colors. Or something with not quite so many different symbols I need to parse at any given moment. Yeah, I'm off a line. Okay, so... Am I off a line on the whole thing? Let's go line by line here. Is this correct? Is this correct? Is this one correct? This is correct. That's what happened. Okay, I had another row of 2 and I missed it. As usual, that's why I'm constantly stopping and counting and double checking. This is a very complex piece. I'll go a lot faster when we get to the big rainbow part of my square. But that's more near, like, the bottom half. Although this part does look cool as I get it done, it's just that I keep miscounting. I should check in the folder and see if there's a color version of this pattern. That might help. Because I grabbed the black and white because that's the one I could print. But since I'm viewing it on screen, I should check for a color version. I think there might be one in there. That might help a little. Make it easier to track where I'm at. Oh, that one was correct. Okay. Alright, let's redo that. Fix it up. Easy enough. Much easier to fix now than later. Although it's not too bad, as long as I'm not. This is, like I said, why I keep trying to anchor onto the color of the section I'm doing. So if I need to pull something, it's a lot cleaner. There's cat hair directly on my fabric. There we go. Doing my best not to stitch the cat hair into the piece. There we go. That looks more like it's supposed to. It's supposed to be an H here, not a 4. And we play a little bit of thread chicken, but I think we'll be okay to finish this row. Oh yeah, plenty. Plenty of thread. Been trying to play less thread chicken than I used to because it ends up the last few stitches at the very end will end up looking all weird and twisty and not great from the tension difference of trying to get that. I'll enjoy my messy desk there. That's the sort of clean section of my desk. Well, I mean, technically the sort of clean section would be the under this, which is where my keyboard and playmat and stuff are. Because otherwise I can't, use a mouse effectively. Okay. I might stop this color briefly and get these white letters in to make it easier to get the rest of this section. I'm going to do that. Whenever I can do it in such a way that makes it less likely to mess up, I should be doing that. Dang it. By the way, I'm super glad that people have been enjoying the Monday morning cross stitch. It's been fun to be able to stream it, even though I make more mistakes than usual because I'm a little more distracted. But it's also been making sure I get some regular incremental progress done on this project, which is nice. While also limiting it to a few hours so I don't overdo it and strain my wrist. It's chill? Yeah, I've been enjoying the chill. I don't usually do full coverage pieces, but it has been actually pretty satisfying seeing it kind of turn into a fabric with every stitch filled in. I mean, it's not the first full coverage piece I've done, but my normal fare is smaller sprites. That I can pop into tiny frames and sell. Because it's something quick and fun. And it doesn't sit around my house forever. So, bonus. People talk about not wanting, or you shouldn't monetize your hobbies because then you'll think of it as work. I like monetizing my hobbies because then it gives me incentive to finish things and then make them not in my house anymore. But I tend to do more of a make a thing and then sell it as opposed to commission. So I've tried doing commissions and turns out I'm not reliable enough. I have a hard time sometimes if it's fickle muses and whatnot. I mean, there's some exceptions. There's um the buttons that I make that I'll do commissions of, but that's such a quick short project. It's not like a big long form thing that I need to continuously motivate myself to work on. Which, like I said, is kind of the other reason I'm streaming this one. If I'm specifically setting aside a period of time and to share the time with people, then it will get work done. Although with cross stitch, I tend to not have half finished projects laying around. What tends to happen is I have one project, but if I get tired of it, it sits and then I'm not cross stitching. which isn't ideal either. I did some flower piece out of a old cross stitch magazine that I got my hands on. That there's two of them where it's a duo. Where I wanted to do both of them, but then it turned out to be way less interesting to stitch than I initially thought. So I just did the one and called it good. I still had to frame that and give that to a friend. That was King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard sketch featuring Mild High Club. Sketches of Brunswick East. This is Darkest of the Hillside Thickets, Spaceship Zero. Going from Australia to Vancouver, Canada. Basically a Lovecraftian punk band. It's fun. I enjoy them a lot. I'm not sure we're going to make it through this H with this piece of thread here. Which is fine, because we've got two more letters of white going down here. Well, no, there are zero cats in the office. One got up and left a little bit ago, and the other one just wandered off. Alright, I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to anchor it after the stitch, and we'll grab a new piece and finish the H and get the other letters. Destiny. I like the conceit of this song. Your future self going back in time to tell you that in the future you're going to be in a situation and flip the switch, not that one. Both of our futures depend on it. Plus, it's catchy. With the twist being that you're not smart enough to actually do that, but that's what you want to do. Check my focus here. Yeah, it's still the best focus. Okay. Just making sure I got that stitch right because I got distracted. It's hard to tell with the white thread. Turns out, yes, I did. I love this song. She sank her too close into me. We climbed up to watch the tide come in. I said a little swim would do some wonders for your skin. Leapt into the sea. One glance was all it took. She gave me the instant look. Needs to be more punk songs about falling in love with Eldritch uh fish monsters. It's an underserved premise, I feel. Figure we'll finish our white, we'll go in and fill in whatever this was here, and make our way down. Fill in the rest of this Yakuza square. Hopefully we'll get through that this morning. Depends how many color changes I have and how many mistakes I make. Love to the fishes, even love to the fishes, even love to the fishes, even love. One glance was all it took. He gave me the instant. Not sure we're gonna make it all the way through this letter on this piece of thread. It's gonna be close. I suspect not. Well, I don't know if I accidentally pull it all the way through. That's not ideal. Hate when I only get half of it. Aha. Got her. I changed my mind. I think we're gonna make it to the end okay. It's a U and not an O. Yeah, I got there and it wasn't even that close. Alright, I'm gonna anchor this and we're gonna see what color goes up here in this little spot. It's hard to see, but we got the lettering down here. And unless I missed a spot, which is altogether possible, we're going to be done with white for a little bit till we start doing down here. Then there's a whole bunch of white. So we've got the edge of the dark side of the moon prism and some lettering. I thought I had another piece kicking around, but I guess not. Okay. Okay, so we need whatever that asterisk one is. 782. Let's find 782. I think that's the one that's down here. So I ran out of... Nope, that's 433. Ran out of plastic bobbins, so I've been hucking some of the skeins down below until I can get them bobbined. 782. Found it. Use this one. Oh, found the piece of white that I thought I had. It fell onto my pants. Put it onto its bobbin here. The finding bits of floss everywhere part of stitching. Move that piece before it falls onto my lap like the other one did. There we go. If someone loved rocks, it was a miracle. And if we fail, I'll be the one to drive the nail. There we go. It's always satisfying getting little sections filled in completely. Alright, we're gonna hop over here. And do my usual pause and count a little bit here, just to make sure. Alright, so we've got... Yep, okay. Ah, this song is great. It's the math song. It's one big formula. I love the chorus. You've got a brain and nobody really needs another love song. And they just continue with the formula. Hydrate! Alright, let me finish this stitch and anchor it and hydrate, and then I will see what color next. We just finished this bit. Alright, got that done. Go hydrate. Okay. Is the right color? 3827. That's the one we were doing before. Let's see here. This is the first time. This is a special time. This is a special time. This is an outrage. Where are you taking me? This is an outrage. Where are you taking me? Then we go back to filling in this color. Now with a little more framing for reference. So hopefully less likely to mess it up along the way. Untwist my floss here. Alright, anchor this, grab another piece of this color. We're going to finish filling this in. There we go. It's taking a bit longer. I got a big knot in the tail I was trying to secure here. Which is impressive when I've only got this much on my tail. Stretch! Alright, that should be a big enough piece to get me through the end of this. A little bit here. Into the dying sun. All right. Get this started here. Yeah, let's keep filling in this color. And we'll switch colors, fill in this section, and then we'll have most, other than this little bit here, this whole chunk done. The Yakuza corner. Woo, indeed. I mean, it's still a big chunk overall. We'll have a lot left to do, but it'll feel like a significant chunk of it at least, which is nice. Visible progress, always very satisfying. Oh yeah, absolutely. Even a few more stitches done is chugging along towards it being finished. It'll probably take like another, I'd say at least a year for all the stitching to get done for everyone, and I don't know how long assembly and shipping is going to take, but I'm excited to see this project come together in full. It's a really cool undertaking. Hats off to people who got it set up and are managing it. I am not nearly that organized. And then, of course, whatever I manage to mess up today and not notice, I'll have found and fixed by next week. I will find and fix all the mistakes on my section. I'm glad you believe in me. I believe in my stubbornness. Fruit fly, go away. You're gonna work it. Gonna work it. Gonna work it. It's harder to find the corners at this point because it's getting filled in around it. All right, I'm gonna anchor this. We're gonna fill in this bit, and then this section will be pretty much done, except for the little overlapping bits from different sections. Woohoo! All right, let's see what color this is. This is all one chunk, so this will go nice and quick. Oh, it's bright red 150. This one. I'm just quick checking my work against the generated color sample from the software. Make sure it looks correct. So I've been finding a few of the things where I grabbed like the wrong color. Like when I used the dark brown on this section. Alright, it's probably gonna take a couple pieces because I had a couple of smaller bits left, but figure I'll use those up. Plus the smaller bits are easier to pull and redo if mistakes happen. And even though I'm filling in the last section here, I'm still gonna count it and compare it against the pattern, because if I messed up something around it, that's how I'm gonna find out. Those things where I'm now gauging whether or not I'm gonna have enough thread to do these last 4 stitches. I don't think I am, so I'm gonna go ahead and anchor and grab a new piece and do the last 4 here. Keep it tidy and nice looking. Oh, I think this is one of those albums that has, like, silence and then a little bit of not much. So I'm just gonna skip ahead to the next album here. That was Spaceship Zero by the Darks of the Hillside Thickets. This is Far From Earth by Stonefield. They're a 3-piece out of Australia. They are sisters. Their drummer is also their lead vocalist and is married to the drummer of King Giz. In fact, she did some of the drums on one of their recent albums as well. She is also a beast of a drummer. I have seen them live, and it was amazing. Very, very talented group. Anyone who can drum and sing cleanly at the same time is just more coordinated than I can ever hope to be. Has an amazing feat of coordination and also musicality. All right. Also, I love their very classic rock, heavy Sabbath era sound. It's great. Okay, I get to I get to scroll down slightly on the pattern now. Exciting. Gonna grab some black and start filling in underneath here. Yeah! Hopefully it's all correct. I will be checking my work between now and next Monday's stream. Now we're going to be doing some black and white for a little bit. We've got the start of the Dark Side of the Moon prism and rainbow that goes across the whole piece. I've got the corner of the prism goes to about here. And also, if my calculations are correct, we finished one of the colors already that we had, like, 4 stitches of. But hey, we take those. Let's do it this way. So how was everyone's weekend? Anyone do anything fun? We went to Art Street in town. It's really, really scaled down from previous years. Like, really scaled down. I want to say it was a third of the booze from its old location. Didn't go because it moved Canuck Car right now. Yeah, you weren't missing a ton. There was some fun stuff, but man, I was shocked at how slim it was. Yeah, I was surprised. It was kind of nice when it was downtown because I would a friend of mine lived in an apartment right downtown, so I would park at his place and we'd just walk down. That's fair. Did he have a booth there, or just want to know for future reference so I can avoid? Oh yeah, he does photography. So yeah, I would have. I don't pay much attention to those ones anyway. So yeah, I guarantee I didn't interface with him at all. There's one booth that broke my heart a little bit. Because I recognized him, like, oh yeah, I keep like every year I see this booth, I almost buy a print from it, and then I get closer up and remember why I never bought a print from it because it's not a high quality scan and print. And nope, makes me so sad. Yeah, oof, indeed. Made me very, very sad. Alright, so this one is a straight shot all the way across the page. Unlike this one where I thought it was a straight shot up to the top of the page, but there was the one pixel where something else overlaps. Oh, yeah, I remember you saying that. Just like, maybe not. Politely, no, please. Kind of nice is that this is the edge of a page and I've got all the way over here, so if I get tired of doing this big section here, I can just hop ahead a page and start doing up here, because it's more like little mosaic-y bits like this. Get some nice variety in the piece for stitching area. Just how it worked out with my chunk. Yeah. Oh yeah, I would never disrupt a panel for that sort of thing. I'd just do a quiet to the panelist afterwards as a, hey, for future reference. Then they can take that information as they wish. That's just kind of funny. Yeah, is what is. Song has such a good groove. Like, kind of almost a disco groove, but not. But it's heavy. It's good stuff. Smoke greens for food. Walk to the direction tiny grocery store for milk and tortillas. Important things. Hopefully you did that on the non-raining portions of the weekend. And that just vibed. Good stuff. That makes sense. Most of the rain wasn't too heavy, except in the evening when it was storming a bit. At least out by me. Yep, I think I just skipped across two there. Yep, sure did. Let's pull that out and fix it. Womp womp, getting ahead of myself. Dark colors are so much easier to thread than light ones. Because you can see them. Alright, I'm gonna anchor this and grab a new piece, and we'll keep making our way back across. For anyone curious, back is not the tidiest, it's not the worst, but it's not super thick, and it'll hold, so. That's the important part here. No, not so much, thank you. No one will be looking at the back when we're done. Well, I assume whoever is assembling it'll be looking at the back, so, you know, there's that. Oh, no big deal. I was changing color anyway, so I was near the mouse to ban spam bot easily. I was just thinking it'd been a little while since we'd had one of those. Oh, I know. I don't worry too much about it being that tidy. So as long as it's not going to make it impossible to frame and it's going to stay put, I'm happy. And of course, it's always tidier where it's chunks of big color, like here. Nice and tidy here. And here's where I carried further than I probably should have. And then a whole bunch of mosaic nonsense. We're really washed out. There we go. Do my loop start here? That's a nice, clean, secure. I imagine people doing the parking where you just have your big long piece of thread you just keep carrying with different needles across your whole thing instead of starting and stopping with your thread. It probably looks a lot tidier on the back. I would tangle everything immediately and nope. Nope. Not the method for me. I also don't work on stuff that's huge either. I've heard of pin stitches and kind of half looked into it and it didn't click and then I didn't look into it again. So I just do my normal anchoring of I run the needle under a couple established stitches, run it through again, and then drop the needle through the loop on the second go to give it just a nice clean knot without it being too bulky. And then trim it. That paired with loop start keeps it fairly tidy. I'm not too fancy in my stitching. I barely backstitch when I have to. which also works well with my preferred patterns being like video game sprites, because it's just gonna be chunks of stitch color, which I prefer to do. Alright, we go in one more here. And now I'm going to start doing this a little square by square for a bit because we've got some text. So I'm going to go to the edge of the square for black, and then we can do the text, and then fill in the black around it. Not looking for the most efficient route, but the one that will give me the most confidence that I'm correct in my placement. And not. One sec. There we go. I like to grab a knot immediately when I feel it, because it's easier to just pull it out and through before I finish the stitch and it tightens. So then I either need to live with it there, secure it somehow, or cut my thread. I'd rather just make the problem go away. Heck, I usually don't even grid my fabric. This is maybe the second or third project. And the first time I've tried just doing the corner pluses instead of the whole thing. I figured with this, gridding was going to be real important. But this is a marker I've tested previously, so I know it'll come out very, very easily. Pre-gridded. Yeah, I have seen that at thrift stores and didn't know what it was and that the lines washed out, so I never bought any of that. Same with the waste canvas. Hydrate! So many things, thanks to the internet, that I'll probably never use, but it's neat to know about so I can let other people know. I do want to get patterning again a bit, though. That was fun. I had to get my software reconfigured because I changed computers since I last did patterning. Do wash out a little scare it wasn't going to. Soaked it for ages in hot water until even the water cooled. Yeah, I've heard that cool water works better for that, for some of those, for whatever reason. I did pick up some of the sulky metallic to try gridding with that at some point, which I haven't used for that, but it did come in handy for a gish task. So I've used it, just not for cross-stitching. Kurt recommends putting it in the washing machine. Monsters. Even in like one of those wash bags that's like for delicates and stuff. No, 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 no. Good lord, no. Maybe if you bought it and decide you didn't want it gridded after all and want it to be clean before you start, but oof, no, I'm not putting a finished piece in a washing machine. Let's do a quick count, make sure we're still on pace where we should be in the pattern. We should be 2, 3, 4 down from there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Should be 4. Excellent, good. Good, good, good. It was so weird. I picked up the actually like went into the store and bought the fabric for this piece because I needed such a big piece of it in a count that's a little smaller than I usually stitch. Because I usually just raid thrift stores for whatever is cheap. So I can use a lot of scraps for the small sprite ones. Alright, we got that little chunk of black done. I'm gonna go ahead and anchor. Okay, that looks fairly satisfying on the back there. Alright, let's see. Alright, let's do the white lettering that plunks in here. Start on that. Let's get a bigger piece. Again, threading white, much more of a pain than threading black. Alright, so we're doing 5 stitches down. Oh, I think I bumped my mic and it's leaning away. There we go, that should help. Sorry about that. Too much tech awkwardly crammed into a very small space here. Remove the cat hair. I have to actually kind of concentrate when I'm stitching white like this because it's so easy to miss a half stitch because it's hard to see. I have to focus a little bit, make sure I'm completing my stitches and not skipping one by mistake. Another fantastic groove here. Just stitched a little Amoongus. I don't think I've had one yet. But I have some obvious ones where it is specifically like Among Us D&D characters further down. I hope the Stitchers have been updating the database of the Among Uses. Because the Stitchers are going to find all of them. Seems sus. Yeah, there was a few groups of people during place just hiding little Among Uses wherever they could. There's some real clever ones, too. I feel when you stretch and accidentally close the tab. Been there, done that. Twist my thread. There's two L's. I looked at my pattern and had a minor and like I'm not where I need to be on this L. Oh wait, there's another one next to it. Haha. Crisis averted. I just was looking at the wrong one. That was Stonefield, Far From Home. Now we are going to listen to Ghost's very first album, Opus Eponymous. Figured I'd throw some more modern stuff that feels classic today. Also, this band's coming to town. Oh man, that's like a month away. Hee hee hee, I'm excited. I don't mind traveling for bands, but it's exciting when they're in town. And I don't have to plan drive time. And stress about parking. Because I can either park at my work or my husband's work and walk there, because they're both close enough. And our works don't mind. Also, Ghost just puts on a heck of a performance, and it's always good time. Very, very theatrical and choreographed. Also, slightly satanic in their music. Because you couldn't tell from the first sung word of the first album being Lucifer. This album gives me very Blue Oyster Cult vibes. This reminds me, I need to finish the book I'm reading on the church burnings in the Nordic countries during that whole mess with black metal. Got a couple chapters left. Very, very interesting read. Very, like, just journalistically written, but with really interesting interviews and stuff. It's called Lords of Chaos, if anyone is interested. It's very interesting how much of it was driven by just a couple of personalities that had varying degrees of taking themselves too seriously and actually believing what they were saying, or not realizing the influence they had to what extent. And how much of it came out of one guy with a small little record shop that ended up being the hangout for those bands and fans of them. Fascinating sociological stuff. And also some very cool music history in there, too. This band, however, is all just pageantry. It's a big stage show. They do not take themselves seriously at all. In fact, this band has definitely gotten sillier over time, but still with great music, so I don't mind at all. For example, every time this band has a new album, it has a heavy air quotes nude lead singer that's of the bloodline, where it's literally all just the same guy wearing a different outfit and mask. Rich, ridiculous lore. Hilariously, these shows are some of the tamest and most family friendly and safest shows I have been to of anything. There's basically no pit ever. I am not one for mosh pits anyway. Never have been. The advice Dad gave me when we were going to shows was if it was standing room, find the sound guy and stand right in front of the sound booth. You are going to get the best audio in the house because you're hearing what the sound guy's hearing, and also often you will have a barrier to lean on, and even if you can't, there won't be anyone behind you. And you're usually a couple rows at least insulated from the pit, but close enough to get a good view. So I have heeded that. It's solid advice. It's great having parents with similar taste in music. Because before I was going to concerts by myself age, and honestly, I didn't want to most of the time anyway. It's just nice to have someone there to enjoy it with, and also um, can switch off with transportation and hold spots and stuff. But basically, depending on the band, I was able to mention it to one of my parents, and they would generally go with me. Like if it was punk or ska, I would have mom's attention. If it was metal, either of them really. But yeah, saw a lot of shows with my parents. It was great. I still do. I took my mom out to a few in the past few years. Well, not the past few years, but before Gestures and everything, I had taken her to um King Giz show. She had a blast. She insisted that it had to be a birthday present so that she could tell her friends and coworkers that she got to go to a band called King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard for her birthday. So I told her that was fine. She got their canvas tour tote bag and told the merch guy that it was going to be her new crochet bag. It is. It's her favorite crochet bag. Uh and then I took her to Ghost in Madison, went with a friend because I knew she'd like it a lot. These days, Dad makes it more to local shows. He knows a lot of the local musicians, so sometimes I'll run into him at those. It's also fun because my husband and I have some overlap in music. That we've definitely gone and seen some shows together. Um, like we saw Nine Inch Nails on Valentine's Day. That was fun. Um, we had tickets for Foo Fighters for their anniversary tour. That's presumably not getting rescheduled ever now, which is unfortunate. And the Who in Milwaukee, HU, not the British one, the Mongolian metal one. That one got rescheduled, but it was before we were comfortable going to shows, so we didn't re-get the tickets to that one. But then there's other shows where it's just I'll tell him about it, and his response is basically, "Yeah, you have fun with that," because I have friends and family and coworkers that I can basically be like, "Hey, you want to go see this show?" Which is fun. I have definitely missed live music, and I am excited to have a few shows for this year. I have three currently. That'll be September, October, November. I'm going to with someone different for each one, which will be fun. This power is the greatest one. I'm glad I got to see some of the bands I did more. I'm gonna just sound old here. A few decades ago. Tickets have gotten real expensive for a lot of shows, especially compared to going to the rave in Milwaukee on a $15 standing room ticket and a hole in the ground. Because that's like 30-40 bucks now, even for a lot of their acts. Which makes sense, but but I'm also the type of person that if I know I'm going to a show before tickets go on sale, I will make a point to be on the website immediately to get them as soon as they go on sale so I don't have to worry about it or try to find them at scalper pricing. Even for the Murlocs, which was a tiny little show in a tiny little club, the tickets are under 20 bucks. I couldn't find the presale code, so the day of general sale, I was on as soon as possible to get them, to get two general admission tickets. I had tickets number 24 and 25. I I'm sure it hasn't even remotely sold out. I'm not even sure if it will sell out, but I have them taken care of and I don't have to worry about it. Helps too that I do have enough friends and family that enjoy music that if for some reason I couldn't make a show, I don't feel like I would have too hard of a time finding someone to take the tickets if need be. But because I get my tickets and plans so far in advance, it's not generally an issue. Well, I got one letter left for this white, but I'm gonna go ahead and microphone fizz. Go ahead and anchor it after this piece here. Because I don't think I'm going to have enough. One more letter and then we'll start filling in the black around it. Substance and Satan, whose kingdom shall have our time to see and clean. Alright, let's get our T in here. With one missing pixel that didn't get reclaimed by the end of the canvas here. So we're not doing the cleaned up canvas, we're doing the actual finished canvas. Alright, we're skipping that stitch on the T on purpose. Alright, let's anchor that. We have that lettering done. Ah! And my stand undid here. Because I didn't do any sort of glue on it. It's just tension fit, so I can swap it out for different sizes, but that also means that it scoots around a little bit and occasionally Pops out of the joins. But it works great and was not very expensive and did not take long to put together, so like less than 20 bucks. I'll take it. Might have to buy more 310. Mostly because I used a ton of it on that Star Trek thing I did. Stretch. Good call. Alright, let's start filling some of this in. We'll see how far we get before our time is up for today. You'll get to actually see the lettering as I stitch around it. We'll at least get a couple of the letters visible here. Oh, we're gonna fix that. I accidentally got the little bit of this weight stitch there. There we go. Alright, not my all-time tidiest work there, but turned out nice enough. Oh, come on, Stitch. There we go. And that was the end of Opus Eponymous by Ghost, and the end of what I had queued up here. So I'm gonna finish a couple stitches here and see what I have for the last little bit of time here. Alright, I'm gonna anchor this. Alright, let me get some little bit of something going here for music. Attempt to reach my keyboard. Let's see, we got about 20 minutes yet. Let's throw on. Yeah, that's about enough time for Dripping Tap. We'll just listen to this one song. Is the first track off of King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard Omnium Gatherum, called The Dripping Tap. It's like an 18-minute track, so that should get us pretty close to the end here, quite smoothly. Get our loop start. Cat hair, please. There. This section's going pretty quick because I've already got the letters done, so it's just filling in the black around them. I actually keep forgetting to check. I don't know what Killisoft is. I don't think it's related to Yakuza, or if it's a separate thing. I should check the atlas. That's what it's for. Skipping a stitch here. There we go. Let's not do that. Ah, stupid 310 coverage gaps. I haven't missed anything, it's just DMC black is a little bit thinner. That should fluff up with cleaning, though. And give better color coverage. I'm gonna go ahead and anchor it here because I'm gonna want to do this all in one go so it stays nice and tidy. With that text disappearing as if by magic as I stitch around where the letters are. The power of contrast. Magic. Trying to keep an eye on the pattern a bit, because, at some point, this is the top of the rainbow. It's gonna start stepping down a little bit, and I want to try to catch that on the black if I can. Otherwise, we'll just go back and do an extra row. There we go. An A appears. Ah. We're gonna start seeing some of the S in a second here. Alright, and this is where we add another stitch down. And that'll go all the way across. Oh, come on. There we go. And that's gonna work out just about perfectly to finishing this piece of floss and also for time. So I'm gonna get this anchored. Got a nice clear place to start from next time, which is always nice. And here we are. This is how far we are now. We got quite a bit done today. We finished up the Yakuza chunk here, started getting the Kill Us Off text here, working our way into the Dark Side of the Moon rainbow. Thank you everyone for hanging out. I hope you had a nice relaxing Monday morning hanging out with some stitching and music. I will be back tomorrow with Cult of the Lamb at 6 o'clock Central. And then Thursday will be presumably more Cult of the Lamb. I don't think I'm going to beat it tomorrow. Also 6 o'clock Central. And then I will be working more on this next Monday morning, 11 Central. Thanks again so much for hanging out. I appreciate all of you. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care. Grab some lunch and get ready for work. And find my